olive colored skin to chocolate brown. Lipsticks and lip gloss should be color rich, long lasting, bold and luscious. Bold and Luscious Cosmetics. Find them at balcosmetics.com. Complete with vitamin E, lanolin, and antioxidants, Bold and Luscious gives you soft, moisturized lips all day. Reds, nudes, pinks, darks, bright. balcosmetics.com. balcosmetics.com.
From the east to the islands, we be getting it on. Pour some Bacardi and tequila, now let's toast to the song. All my Boricua singing along. All my Latinos singing along. Find me out in Puerto Rico, they be getting it on. I'ma chill with a couple women while they singing my songs. A cup of Patron, Palo Viejo bottles be gone. I gotta be on, something the bag of model like a dog. Two lyrical mommies wanted a smooth criminal. I put the bars away for a second and got physical. Now she's trying to be my Cinderella. I told her as long as you got that good rest and I'll be Twella. Yeah, how you fit in them jeans? Hips wide, thick thighs, that body is looking mean. White pants painted on that skin, looking so fitted. Your man's a lame if he quit it, cause I will hit it with no delaying. So what I'm saying, yo, she was rubbing on my thighs saying, what's the dealio? Never had a Puerto Rican, I was like, really, yo? Now she's living la vida loca, calling me Ricky, though. From the east to the islands, we be getting it on. Pour some Bacardi and tequila, now let's toast to this song. All my Boricua singing along. All my Latinos singing along.
Excuse me, can I talk to you? Run a little game, can I walk with you? Am I all the nature in the park with you? Roll a little sun, maybe spark with you. I know that you don't say it, but I feel a vibe. You know I'm patient, baby, I'ma give it time. But get it while I got it, know it's limited. So if you start something, better finish it. Who you know fresher than Bree, riddle me that. Shorty talking spicy through text, image attached. Red light, she all on my neck, get in the back. Get on top and rock till you cry, I'm into that. Finding shit I seen in the spot, I had to slide. No, I'm picky about who I choose, I can't decide. These days they coming in tools, nothing to lose. She in the mood, I'm in it like I got something to prove. Ooh, I ain't a player, I just yeah, I ain't a player, I just know the game well. Do I love her or the pussy? Man, I really can't tell. It ain't on me, nah, it's in me. This is shit you can't sell, it's break. Excuse me, can I talk to you? Run a little game, can I walk with you? Am I all the nature in the park with you? Roll a little sun, maybe spark with you. I know that you don't say it, but I feel a vibe. You know I'm patient, baby, I'ma give it time. But get it while I got it, know it's limited. So if you start something, better finish it. Don't start nothing you can't maintain. Tryna be my main thing, might be on the same thing. She know how to play a role, shorty gang gang. We ain't even in the drama, ain't no blame game. She see the vision, but already got her own motion. Both getting to the bag, ain't nobody coasting. But I'm the type that have her sitting pretty by the ocean. And she might really be the one, but I gotta focus. I ain't a player, I just yeah, I ain't a player, I just know the game well. Do I love her or the pussy? Man, I really can't tell. It ain't on me, nah, it's in me. This is shit you can't sell, it's break. Excuse me, can I talk to you? Run a little game, can I walk with you? Am I all the nature in the park with you? Roll a little sun, maybe spark with you. I know that you don't say it, but I feel a vibe. You know I'm patient, baby, I'ma give it time. But get it while I got it, know it's limited. So if you start something, better finish it.
see you every day, and yeah, I gotta wait. It makes me mad, baby, makes me mad. I want you to say you feel the same for me. I know it's fast, babe, it's fast, but the way I feel, it's getting too real. 'Cause when we kissed, I felt like electricity running through me. Baby, what's the vibe? What you wanna see? Passion through me, floating with these. Baby, please, oh, baby, please, oh. What's it gonna be? Are you on my team? Baby, what you want, child? What you need? My everything, you're my everything, boy. Yeah. You're my everything. Yeah. You're my everything. Yeah. You're my everything. My everything. Yeah. You're my everything, boy. My number one, my everything. The fantasies, the wedding, just you and me for eternity. Tear up the sheets and release the freak inside of you, inside of me. We are a pair, let's take it there, up to a place beyond repair. Baby, don't be scared, no.
You ain't hit me back, yo, what's good with that? Won't answer my calls, block me in the chat, oh. On social media, but can't respond. You hurt my feelings, so I hit you back. I'm gon' go out, have a good time. I ain't been good to myself in a good while. I'm gon' take shots, throw them back till I'm dizzy. Then I'll start crying and dialing your number to ask, do you miss me? Do you miss me? I ain't no good in these streets, come and get me. Can't be out here on my independently. Girl, do you miss me? Just tell me you do, tell me you do. I ain't no good in these streets without you. Hit me with the flex, popped out with your ex. You petty as fuck, what did I expect? I'm gon' fuck on somebody new tonight. I hurt your feelings, get my liquor back. I'm gon' go out, have a good time. I ain't been good to myself in a good while. Take some shots, throw them back till I'm dizzy. Then I'll start crying and calling your number to wait. Do you miss me? Do you miss me? Can't be out here on my independently. Girl, do you miss me? Just tell me you do, tell me you do. I ain't no good in these streets without you. Text me back one time. Hit me up, baby, hit my line. Don't you hit decline. Wish that I could press rewind. Text me back. Hit me up, text me back. Text me back. Hit me up, baby, hit my line.
What's this? What's this? It's something going on in my bones. What's this? What's this? It's something going on in my brain. What's this? What's this? I feel like I'm going insane. What's this? What's this? I gotta release it, man. Yeah, I hit him with the mind control or the mic control. I don't care till the night is on. Need drugs and the money in the safe. I run this race, I'm taking first place. DPE taking over this game. Every time you look up, you see us, man. Keep on knocking in your head, cause I'm all in your brain like a red car jingle, man. No, I'm not an X-Man, you know I'm the best, man. All of your neck, man, you getting no rest, man. Serious on the hate, but you really is a fan. Seeing all my words like you wrote it, man. Niggas say Rizzy is missing. Bitches say Rizzy we missing. Come back, I'm playing no games, no activation, like your hat go missing. They really try to diss him. Throw shots, but your shit barely miss him. Niggas know my bars coming like Candyman, but I didn't want to scare the children. You know I'm a monster. Raise my arm up under your armor. My team out here really purging. Cutting through these beats like a surgeon. Some say I'm conversistic. Some say I overdid it. Some say I'm overrated. Fuck that, that's an understatement. Some say I barely made it. Nigga, y'all that's barely hating. Motherfucker, I ain't got no brain. My soul is cold and my heart is black and my chain is gold. You don't know how many times I've been down this road. Think about kids and I'm thinking like, nope. I came back full loco, came back flow on dough, came back killing raw shows, came back billboard dough, came back on label, niggas can't stop me though.
I got powers like Rawrrzone, fucking up your ozone, queen of my throne, hard off no dome, fly as a drone, back to the bone. Wife still talk shit when I come home, sharp as cheekbones, hot cold like stone, help to fight crime incognito, causing frostbite, come at me wrong, hurt my loved ones below zero. I'm the coolest female hero, every black girl wanna be a tall dog, petite, built for speed hoe, bro so big but don't wear speedos. I go by Sabrina Frost, protect all at any cost. Saving lives is not a job, it's a lifestyle. Fuck what you thought. Bon voyage is such a joke. He don't really want the smoke. Undermines a waste of time and syndromes. Machines all get broke. Yes, I am incredible, and my ice is edible. My aim is impeccable. Fucking with me is terrible.
Devastation, a revelation, free demonstration, backslide. Thunder vibe, lightning bolt, without the cloak. Slipping slope as a boy approach. Rope a dope, I got bangs to boom. Clearing rooms on another room. Mile rising, so surprising. Creatures creeping, I just minimize them. Knock them down, don't identify them. Lock you up, my electric field. Shake your body, making blood spill. Slam you down until you ain't around. Wallace slam you down to Chinatown. Villains tricking, what the hell they flipping? Pass it off like it's Scottie Pippen. Teamwork trying to keep it hitting. This target practice on an old mattress. Turning pages to another chapter. Swear I swear and got a clear affair. She shell shock you, take away your air. Bright flare blow your body up. Lightning bolts beaming Scotty up. The ladies yelling come to save the day.
It's time to bring the strength. It's time to bring the pressure. Annihilate anything in my way to any measure. My reign is undisputed. I'm stronger, don't confuse it. It's trouble when you hear me stay flat. That's how I do it. Diminish any threat, try to stop us, I'm with my crew. We here to save the day. If you run, then we will pursue. You really don't want it, man. Undefeated, we never lose. The way we tear up town to town. Don't believe me, just check the news. Now choose. We won with the force and we got the power. Devour any challenge that challenge us in an hour. No flowers, the way we articulate how we move. We coordinate, assimilate, exemption to the rule. We cool, inspired by masterminds of the galaxy. Living this reality, found out that it had to be me. Hitting my cup, no chaser, yeah, running up, no favors. Who you gon' call? Danny with the strength of a kraken, tough like skin of a dragon, yeah, we want it all. Hanging with the guys, old devils, flying on a different level, never gon' fall. Save life after life, we some heroes. Super Saiyan mode to a zero, yeah, we stand tall. Something like a monument figure, say you a shovel to a digger. Think of something bigger, time to bang bang like a trigger. Haters that be mad, that be bitter. Stop it!
up, world? It's your homegirl, Ivy, Katie, whatever you want to call me. Just talk to me nice because although it is no longer Gemini season, it is still Get Raw season 2025. Where the hoes at, guys? Where are the hoes at? You can find us everywhere, of course, on our website, www.rawrzonenyc.com. Of course, on our YouTube, Mondays at 8 or tonight at 8. Catch us Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Pulsar 82.3 FM in 150 countries, including our new home in Mexico. I'm still waiting for my margarita, guys. I just think. And of course, catch us Fridays, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're back to late nights, and we're on the Evening Rush Radio Network, courtesy of Don and the entire team. Shout out to you, both platforms. Really doing it up for independent artists and giving opportunities for small businesses and creatives to expand their reach. Woo! All right, guys. We've been going through this the last few weeks, right? Let's just do this now because I want to talk about the give back after before we bring our guest up. Guys, has your promo not been fresh? Do you have a new song coming out? Do you have a new product you're trying to promote, but no one wants to take you seriously because you're using bum-ass pictures? I think you need to call Ivy Productions and book a photo shoot, an EPK, maybe even a promotional tour for your new project. That sounds so crazy, but please brand yourself with us. And on top of that, not only do we have services with Ivy Productions, KDK Photography got a mini shoot sale for those that need their headshots. Why is my computer freezing up? Right in the middle of a promo. That's so horrible. Come on, StreamYard, get it together. Oh, the joys of live. I'm sorry about that, peeps. Technical difficulties, but we back. You get that 125 mini shoot sale. You get your photos looking like you getting ready to go to the WWE. And if you ain't heard, that's because Ivy said so. Get your shoot. As Boss TV says, get your motherfucking photos. And we here. Again, I want to thank everyone who was a part of our Get Raw benefit. Boss TV is in the building. She did media. She helped get the footage for the event as well. We're so grateful to people like her, Ace Bradley, Rock, everyone that participated who had their hand in the form of Ivy Productions in their beginnings, and to see you guys come together again. Like, I will always be grateful for that beyond words. But we are fighting the good fight. We are back at Sanger Hall, July 26th. It is the road to the give back. We are picking 3 artists to perform at our main give back. We don't have that date yet, but it's going to come up. Sponsors, vendors, get at us. ivyproductionsnyc@gmail.com. We're past the $5,000 mark. I don't want to be doing this for 10 years and not make that 10 10K mark because I'm doing this now for 7. So please, before we hit 10, can we just get the 10K so we can say we did it? Sarcoma is a very rare cancer, and it affects a very small percentage of the population. But the effect, while it has a small population, it affects so many people. It's not just about the disease; it's about the people that are their family members, the caretakers, the people that are working around the clock at the medical facilities to make sure that these people are getting the right treatment. It's more than just us getting together to talk to perform on stage. It's about a purpose. The same reason like we have our guest in the building, Miss TJ Vida. We're doing something for a cause. So please stay on the live today. Get to know TJ. Get involved with our give back. But I want to talk about our guest today and the event that she's putting on Saturday. Miss TJ Vida is excuse me, I froze up. She's a community leader, advocate, a singer, and a visionary behind Seize the Cure, a powerful campaign and event series dedicated to raising awareness and support for those impacted by epilepsy. Through her personal journey and passion for advocacy, she is turning struggle into strength, and she is sparking change with every step. Bear with me while my camera is still off, but Rawrrzone fam, because I don't want StreamYard to be glitchosaurus and then screw up the rest of this interview. So let me bring to the stage the one and only, the queen herself, Miss TJ Vida.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
So I'm just waiting for whatever brujeria is going on with my computer right now. To
Listen, I am so over this new age. I mean, I'm not that old yet, but I feel like I need to be back into the days where we didn't. Technology is a beautiful thing, but it's very bittersweet for me. I don't have patience for it.
Man, I'm just so. I personally, I've had I told you I left work at 4:30. I got home 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I returned to New York driving and traffic and potholes and parking, and I forgot what it was like.
You did it today?
Huh?
You did it today?
Oh, I drove here from Florida on on Wednesday. I left Wednesday and we got here Friday.
That took a lot of coffee, didn't it?
You know what? I just had my first cup of Bustelo yesterday. I've been having American coffee. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. I had to have Bustelo. So I just started having it yesterday because I didn't have any in the hotel room. So my internet is choppy here too at the hotel. So don't feel bad of anything when it comes to internet but yeah, I was reminded what it is to drive in New York, because in Florida the driving is way different. I said, "Oh man, I came back here. I'm cursing people out. I had to be a bully all over again."
Did you get a blunt at least?
Did I get what?
Did you at least get some weed to smoke at least for the way in?
No, but I put my middle finger up. I can't even tell you how many times, and curse people out, roll down my window, cursing people.
Yo, but I felt that, bro, you should have seen me. I was on live because I'm like, okay. We stopped 30 minutes on the 5 train, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said some idiot jumped into the track.
Oh my God.
Only
in New York.
Only in New York. So I'm sitting here cursing everything out. I'm like, yo, I don't know who's worse. The MTA for not paying attention for someone going into the fucking track, or the stupid idiot that was in the fucking track.
She was like, you couldn't pick another day to jump in the track.
I'm like, bro, but seriously, usually this is my bullshit on the way to work. So I'm thinking I'm gonna be chilling on this ride home. No, it said fuck my shit. So now we stop at 1:38. So it's not like it's $49, whatever, that I could transfer to the 2.
Mm-hmm.
I could either go take a bus I've never been on or walk my ass to Harlem, like to 125th. So my ass walked to 125th.
Well, hey, you got your exercise on.
I did, bro. But then the worst part, so I finally make it to Times Square to take the train that goes to my house, and the train doesn't fucking go to my house.
Oh wow! How long it takes you on a regular day where everything is running smooth? How long it takes you to get
45 minutes.
Oh hell no! That sounds like torture to me.
I swear to God, bro. Like I was trying so hard. I was screaming. Oh my God, it was horrible. I did get them steps in. They said I had like 8,000 steps today. I'm quite accomplished.
You got those steps in.
No, my goal in the summer, because the weekend I did the Puerto Rican festival,
mm-hmm.
I did like 15,000 steps. So now my goal this summer is just to break that record one more time.
I hope you're not trying to do that in the weather that New York had between yesterday and the day before, 100 degrees.
No, bro, get out of here with that. I can't do that, bro.
I didn't bring Florida with me. Even Florida wasn't touching the heat the way New York was yesterday.
Yeah, but Florida's it's dry. It's not.
Yeah, it's a different type of heat.
You guys don't have humidity. I wish we had the dryness. It would be so much easier to live.
Mm-hmm.
I had to walk from City Hall down Bowery yesterday, and by the time I got there, I looked like one of those cartoons that like got drenched in sweat. It was so bad.
Yeah, it was just brutally uncomfortable. Like in Florida, you can walk outside, you'll get a nice tan, you'll get hot, but it's not where you can't breathe type of heat.
And I like walking in Florida like that. So walking in Florida, it is a different breed because you guys don't have like sidewalks and shit. You only got roads and nothing but roads.
Yeah. I mean, right now you're probably the first show that I've actually spoke highly about when it comes to Florida, but I'm a New Yorker. It's in my heart. Not the driving part, but everything else. Yeah, I'm a New Yorker.
Yeah, because I remember going there for the Jada Kiss concert to shoot it, and I was like, realistically, the CVS was across the street from the hotel.
Okay.
But you gotta cross through the entire highway.
You were in Orlando?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody goes to Orlando. See, I'm in the outer skirts. I'm like in this little park called Sanford that nobody knows anything about. Never heard of it. And it's just I'm in what you would consider the hood. It's a southern hood though. It's very different. I don't like it.
Why Florida then?
Huh?
Why Florida?
I went to Florida for a better life. You know, thinking I was going to get a better life. And in some cases, there are benefits to being out there, but the benefits are very small. And, you know, you don't know anything until you actually do it. So when I moved there, I left everything behind. I started from scratch and I went through a lot of things over there that I never went through in my whole life being in New York. And I don't know if that was God's plan to really test me to see how strong I am to dealing with these things. I mean, my car was stolen and the guys who stole my car had a shootout with the police. And the only reason the cops found my car was because I had my TJ Vida logo on the back of the car and I showed it to them. So they were able to find the car, but then the car was totaled during that shootout. So yeah, I had moved into a roach infested apartment at the time. It was just so much stuff. It was like back to back to back to back. So I'm still trying to figure out if God is telling me you got to go, because I'm still not happy there. I'm just not going through the hell I went through when I first moved there. So I'm trying to think, is God telling me that I just need to go and come back to where I'm from and where my heart is?
Yeah.
Or is God telling me, let me make you really strong and see, let you test yourself, because sometimes we don't know our own strength until we actually deal with shit. Excuse my French. Can I curse on this show? I didn't even ask that.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. So I'm still trying to figure that out, but I always land back in New York. And when I come to New York, let me tell you how real it is. I can walk in the projects at 3 a.m. and I feel safer than I do where I live in Florida. So that says a lot. So I'm still trying to figure things out. I'm considering coming back. I really am. It's not something. Just come back. Screw it. Just come back.
She's like, just do it. Like the way she's talking is like, okay, you're justifying it, so I'm gonna just see you in like 3 months once you get this all done with the campaign for the year. I'm gonna see you in a few months. Oh, you need help moving? I gotta work in the Bronx anyways. Okay, I got you.
No, I really miss it out here. Like I even said to myself, if I move back to the Bronx, I'm not driving, because there really is no reason for you to even have to drive out here anymore. It's more of a headache. I could save like $600, $800 a month.
Nah, because if I would say keep the car, because right now in Uber from I want to say East 180th, because I don't want to say from Soto, because I haven't taken one from there in a while. But 180th in Uber is $50.
Through that, I ain't going anywhere. I'll just walk everywhere I go. I'll lose my weight. I'll get in shape.
It used to be $35, bro. I was chilling on that 35. I was okay with that. You are not getting.
Yeah, but that's the way to go. Become an Uber driver. That's where the money is now.
And that's why we have congestion pricing. Because everyone wants to be an Uber driver.
I'm still learning how to drive. It's like I'm learning how to drive all over again here. They made everything bus lanes. So I'm sitting there like an idiot, just driving on the bus lane, not even paying attention that there's a bus lane, because I'm not even used to that.
Yeah, because they have more bike lanes now for no fucking reason.
Yeah. It's so confusing. And then I'm used to, in Florida, you could turn right on red. So here I am turning right on red one time, thinking, I just got used to the Florida ways, but I don't know. I still love it here though. I just wouldn't drive. I could save $800 a month between paying for my car and the insurance. And that's not even including gas and tolls and maintenance and oil change. The cars are too expensive. Too expensive. But in Florida, you have to drive. If you don't drive, that's when you're really paying a fortune on Ubers. But I moved there 4 years ago, so I still don't have that Southern accent. Not yet. I don't know if I ever will.
Don't do that. Don't get rid of the Bronx accent. Come on.
Nah, they can still tell that I'm from New York. Everywhere I go in Florida, I have a conversation. They say, you gotta be from New York. And in a lot of cases, they could even guess the Bronx. They said that the Bronx people have like this kind of particular swag, especially the females. So, hey, I don't plan on getting. Listen, if you ever hear me say yes, ma'am, just check me right there. Like, no, Vida, I'm not ma'am.
I'm going to pass you the blunt. I'm going to be like, Kumi?
She going to be like, no. We ain't doing no. Yes, ma'am. None of that nonsense here.
I'm like,
hey, I finally see you. What's up?
Yeah, I'm trying to chance it right now. So I'm trying. So my boy told me my computer could be at like its end of life, and I'm not accepting that yet. Because I can't afford another computer. Because who the fuck can in New York?
Right. Yeah.
But I'll make this like short. I'm like trying to be so careful with it. That way, like it doesn't glitch during the interview. But getting involved with, and I'm going to have you talk more about the epilepsy and everything after this. But it's really funny, right? When you go to an all work event and your boss's boss goes to you saying, I heard you're doing interviews. What? It's like, yeah, so Miss Gibson, and I'm like, oh, TJ.
Oh, yeah.
No, and I remembered, right? But we're talking about like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm being told to go to this like all site lunch event at Maestro's, and there's no coffee in my system, not even a cigarette. I'm just like, okay, so I'm like, all right. He's like, yeah, how do you know her? I'm like, oh, I came to the event last year, because of one person, and we were introduced, and then we were following each other. But she's cool people, I know she's a good person to work with, so And then I'm like, somehow she got my entire team roped into the event, though.
And you know what? I didn't even know at first, like the connection. I knew like one person was connected, but then when I see that everybody knows everybody, I love it. Honestly, love it, because I feel like it's always better to network with people there's people that I've been friends with on Facebook for years, and I didn't actually meet them until recently, and it was by accident. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. When I got here on Friday, I literally checked into the hotel, took a shower, got dressed, and went to the first interview.
You never
with no sleep whatsoever. I was exhausted. This is the first time I ever drove. The longest I've driven was 2 hours in the whole time that I've been driving. Over
but
10
you
years.
drove you didn't have somebody with you?
Oh yeah. My friend came. She met me in Florida on Monday, the 16th, and then we left Wednesday. So we both drove, but it was still, that was a lot for me. That was a lot.
I'm saying, you guys didn't pass it back and forth?
No, she took over majority of it when we left, and then I took over after. But then once it got dark, I can't see well at night. Especially if it's somewhere that I don't know where I am, I will not do it. So then she took over at that point. But it was a pretty decent ride. It's not something I would ever do alone, because I have insomnia and I know I'm not going to stop and sleep. I'm definitely not going to pay for no hotel that's a long passing, because I'm going to be afraid of bed bugs and all kinds of crap. And I'm not going to sleep in a rest stop, because it's just risky having a female by herself sleeping in a car where all these truckers go. So, it was a nice experience though. I don't know. I like the fact that I didn't have to deal with the bullshit of the plane.
I'd rather do the plane, I'd rather just get it over with. I'll probably smoke a blunt in advance, right before, knock out. Cause normally it's either I'm flying. The only place I fly to is Florida.
Okay.
That's the only place I've gone in the last 10 years, multiple times. And then the most I've gone outside of New York that I drove from Jersey into Philly.
Yeah, well, you know what? I had so much stuff with me too that I would have had to pay a fortune to get it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And now I'm excited because I'm going to be here another week, and I have post-event festivities that I have to do, and meetings and wrapping everything up.
And also, finding an apartment to stay in because she's moving over.
You know what? Find me one. I don't know. They sticking apartments everywhere now. They taking apartments.
You heard that? She said, "Find me one." Paul, listen. Yo, Craig.
Oh, we just froze. Somebody froze. Okay.
Oh no!
No, you know what? You give me something that if you find me something that I would be an idiot to not take the opportunity, then yeah, I'm coming back. As you know, my kid's father, he's still in New York. So they're constantly traveling back and forth. We co-parent from different states, and it's a lot. But I miss it. I do.
You do know that the people that are hosting your event have the new apartment housing, right? Remind me to send you that information.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they opened up some new apartments around the West Farms area.
Okay.
it makes me kind of wish I was on housing. That's how nice they look. Like the lobby looked like a 5-star hotel. I'm like, what the living fuck?
Yeah, but you know what? The rents are crazy now in New York. The rents were crazy before I left. Like a 3-bedroom where I am, and you get the washer, you get the dishwasher, you got the pool, the fitness center. A 3-bedroom is like not even $1,000. It's like $1,000 a month. I mean, they going up where I live too, because once New Yorkers started moving on a regular basis, now they're trying to up everything because they don't want the New Yorkers to keep coming in there.
That was a blessing and a curse. I'm not gonna hold you. Because so many people I wanted to get rid of out of my life, and then I'm going there. I'm like, yo, goodbye. But now the bad part is when I was good and wanted to buy property, that shit was fucking. I'm like, nah, forget this shit.
Yeah, nah, I don't want to own. I'm not ready for all that because I gotta deal with plumbing.
I wouldn't think to move there. I wanted business purposes, not like,
not for moving. Yeah.
Yeah, no, hell no. I'm gonna always live in New York. I know that. If I would do what you do and travel.
Well, you know what? It was the best thing I did for myself because I was going through a really, really, really difficult situation at that time. And I don't feel like I lost myself. I did lose myself. I lost myself so much to the point that I had to do this to prove something to myself. And sometimes the only way to prove something to yourself is where you hit rock bottom and you don't want the help. You just got to make a new start for yourself. And the fact that I was able to do that, I had no furniture. I had nothing. I left everything behind. And it was the best thing I did for one reason. I realized that I did not need to deal with the stuff I dealt with for so long, and leaving it was the best thing, because the reason we don't leave certain situations, a lot of times it's a dependency situation. It may be financial. It may be somebody got a hold on you with something and you think you can't deal without it. You're stuck. But it's really a mental stuck. No one's ever really stuck. If you mentally put yourself up, and that's what I had to do. I literally had to say, Tara, how long are you going to keep having these excuses for being in this situation? The only way out of this is to start from scratch and put myself even deeper to where I had no choice but to pick myself up. And that's what made me heal from that whole situation, because now I forced myself to move not only to a different place, a different state, a different culture. Florida is, people don't realize when you go visit, it's different from living there.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ball game, and you don't know until you're living there to know what it entails. So I came with no furniture, no clothes. I just came with literally a few bags and my electronics. I wasn't getting rid of that. And then anything that this person was tied to, I threw out. And the crazy thing is, the only thing that was left was my car at the time. And that car started having problems the minute I moved to Florida. I think that was God telling me, get rid of that too. This person had a dealing with the car.
Telling you don't go to Florida. That's fucking
get rid of the car. But I got me an SUV now, so I upgraded.
That's more cargo space.
Cargo space and more gas, but it was the best thing I did. It was the best thing I did. So now I know what I could do. Now I know I don't need to be there anymore. I could move back to New York now that I proved to myself what I could do.
Yeah. You came, you saw, you conquered.
Yeah. That's the best thing I did.
So we had a Ramble Mania session right here and went off on everything, right? And I loved it, don't get me wrong. But we are here because you have a purpose and you have a calling that's very inspiring.
Yeah.
Tell us about Seize the Cure and your personal journey behind it.
Well, first and foremost, I am an R&B/pop artist, songwriter, actress, community activist, spokesperson for domestic violence and sex crimes and victimology. And I also have my degree in forensic psychology, my master's degree. So in 2017, when I was just finishing my master's degree, I'm currently working on my doctorate. My son was diagnosed with epilepsy, and his seizures started with what you call absent seizures or petit mal, where I like to describe it as it's like the person is literally unconscious, but they're standing up and their eyes are open, but they're not aware of anything going on. They're completely frozen. And he eventually turned into the seizures turned into convulsions. Now, in 2017, as an artist, I wanted to do an event that was strictly for the cause of epilepsy. And I was literally in the first stages of dealing with my son and what brought his seizures and what they were going to turn to. At this point, he was just starting out fresh with his seizures. And I called the Epilepsy Foundation, and the director answered the phone, and I said, I want to do an event. I'm an artist. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I just want to tie it to a cause, and I want it to be about something that hits close to home. So we had our first event, and throughout the years, since 2017, I just kept doing the events, and they started getting slowly bigger each time. And in 2020, Seize the Cure was appointed to represent the Bronx in epilepsy awareness. Now, in 2020, COVID hit. So it put a huge block on any kind of progress with Seize the Cure. And then I ended up moving to Florida. And interestingly, the last event that was planned was supposed to happen in March 2020. And that's when COVID closed the schools. And the director of the program in this school, she had no idea about epilepsy. She had no idea about what seizures were. And after I moved to Florida, I did a presentation for a number of sponsors that were looking for an organization that was going to, pretty much encourage the spread of epilepsy awareness and seizure safety. And 2 weeks after that presentation, the director of that school that I was supposed to do a program in, she calls me and she was crying and left me a message. And she said that God brought me into her life, and she wants me to continue doing what I'm doing with Seize the Cure because her son started having convulsions. And, at the time that I met her, she had no idea what they were. So that inspired me to say, you know what, I got to continue doing this, and I got to do it bigger and better. It started off with just epilepsy awareness. And what I did was I held events throughout the Bronx that focused on epilepsy, but now Seize the Cure has incorporated seizure safety awareness into our mission because not everyone who has seizures has epilepsy. There are other factors that happen in our regular day-to-day community, especially in our urban community, that are causing seizures. And people are just not aware on what to do when someone has one. They're not even aware of what they're looking at when someone's having one. They don't even know what it looks like. And there are over 40 different types of seizures. So my son is now 23. Now, during the time since 2017, he had over 400 convulsions. And his convulsions came with injuries, serious injuries, fighting management, fighting the school system, fighting the healthcare system, constant hospitalizations, constant 911 calls. He couldn't live a normal life because, for obvious reasons, seizures pose a huge risk to injury, and it was just too risky with the amount of seizures and the severity of them for him to just go around by himself. And he's now doing, knock on wood, so much better than before. We still struggle with the effects of all those seizures that he's had, and he's not seizure free. He's not seizure free, as we still are dealing with that, but it's nothing like it used to be. And he's now older, so he's taking care of himself. And the point of me saying that is now he's become more of an advocate and being a part of Seize the Cure. And everything that I've learned with him, I want to bring that to the community because awareness creates preparedness. If you know what to expect with a condition like this, or you're giving a heads up, you can more effectively parent your child who's has a seizure condition. you can better keep them safe. You can, try to even prepare for yourself to have somewhat as much of a normal life as possible, because the parent and caregiver is really the one that's affected by how to manage this, and also, have a regular life and be able to work and take care of the other kids at home and so forth. So that's what I bring to the events. We're having this Saturday, June 28th, 2025, we are having at 1:00 at the Sonia Sotomayor Community Center on 1000 Rosedale Avenue. We are having Seize the Music, Shake Epilepsy. And I'm blessed to have doctors from Montefiore as well as New York Presbyterian come out to speak on puberty and pregnancy and how it affects the risk of seizures. And we also have an EMS worker coming out that's going to give vital information on what to do when someone's having a seizure and what to do and not to do after the person has a seizure. There is a post-seizure time that you have to follow certain protocol to make sure that the person is safe after they come out of their seizure. And it's happening from 1 to 6. We're going to have vendors. We have performances. We have testimonial speakers. We're going to have raffles. It's free to the community. We're going to have food there as well. And we also have media coverage, including the lovely, welcome to Rawrrzone. We'll be there.
Wait, and Bossy, hold on, and Bossy, even though she hasn't said it yet, but I had to put her in.
There she goes. God definitely will let you know he is the real. Yep. Say it again, girl. Say it again. Bossy's gonna be. Oh, man, she's amazing. I met her for the first time she was an interview I went on Friday when I got here.
I know. I had to actually watch it. I saw the pictures. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, she spoke real highly of you too. She's such a beautiful person. I met some great people doing this, and you know what's so beautiful about it? When I first started going through this with my son, I was so alone. I felt like I had no one to take. When people aren't affected by something, they don't really take it seriously. And I was at a really lonely point at that time. And now it's so interesting how God works, because now it's like it's picking up, and the support that I'm getting, the connections I'm making with people are amazing. And it keeps me wanting to do this, because now it's not about my son anymore. Now it's about all the people I'm helping and spreading awareness. And there's every event. I always say this: if I have 500 people in the room and I reach one person only, I did my job.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I love what I do with the Give Back for Sarcoma, but I recently, when in my other podcast, the Ivy Talks one, I did an interview with a borderline personality disorder advocate, and that was because I got diagnosed with that 2 years ago. So I've come to learn that there's more. I love the Sarcoma Foundation and what I've been doing with them for the last 7 years, but there's also so much you want to do, so much you want to give, that eventually, and maybe that's why I'm more focused to get that $10,000 goal, because I'm one of those people like Mama said, don't quit type shit. Mm-hmm. So I want to make that goal, but I want to expand it, because there's so much that we can give back to.
Absolutely. You have me thinking, between you, myself, and Bossy, we should really come up with something. I'm gonna talk to you, later on at a different time about that. But I had some ideas, because it's, we may all have different causes, but I always feel when it comes to it all connect.
Everyone, but because it's like you said, right? My friend died in 2017. I just met I didn't even know who Bossy was yet. I had just started my radio career. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And I get a call, and just this is someone I went to college with. He changed my life. He introduced me to the people I call my sorority sisters. But that first give back, it didn't matter that they didn't know him. They still came, they still supported him. The fact that it eventually evolved into something where someone says, yeah, my cousin's friend has sarcoma and they're not dealing too well with it. Or I could get somebody that from one of the sarcoma races to come and talk on Rawrrzone, to help
Mhm.
build awareness or sit here with you. It's like I don't need to know you directly, but I understand you're going through something.
Mhm. That's the thing. If everybody's educated, just off the strength of you going through something, and you know what? First of all, I want to commend you for opening up about your diagnosis, because that's just just in being able to say that, that's not easy.
Not at
That's
all.
not easy. You always have people that have something to say, or they think they don't know nothing about it. And I know, in connection with epilepsy, psychiatric medications are a huge factor in seizures and causing seizures. And then medication for epilepsy or seizure disorder causes psychiatric issues.
Ain't that some shit?
Ain't that so? Right, right. So you know what? We can treat your seizures and make them better, but guess what? You may have a mental disorder that not be able to function because of that. But you know how they have, you watch those commercials with any medication, they have the people skipping through the field, holding hands, singing ha ha ha, happy, 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 and then it's like, oh well, here are a list of side effects in very small print: erectile dysfunction, or you might lose a lung, or you might lose a toe, something crazy. So I'm always like, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Everything's trial and error. With epilepsy, that epilepsy is one of the conditions that's so hard to treat because the medications themselves cause so many problems. And I'm sure it's not the only condition with that, but there's no cure to it. So I always say, seize the cure is not about finding a cure. We're not trying to seize the cure. We're trying to seize the lack of being able to have a normal life, and what's the best way to have the most normal life that you can in dealing with this condition. And if you know what to expect, that's the key thing. If I was told from the beginning with my son what to expect, I have epilepsy myself, but it's different when it's yourself versus your kid.
Yeah.
And I don't have convulsions anymore, by the grace of God. Let me make sure I knock on wood again, because they can't come back, but they haven't. So my son, I didn't know what was happening to him when he had his first seizure. I didn't know what a seizure looked like. So when I started taking him to the doctor, they didn't tell me when he was first diagnosed, they were just absent seizures. They didn't tell me it was a good chance that his seizures would develop into convulsions. And if I would have known that, I would have at least gotten prepared, so I knew when it happened and what I was looking at. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect with him getting hurt in the house or on the street from having a seizure. He had a seizure in the tub and the knobs went into his stomach. He was 6'2" at the time. He had another seizure behind the door in the bathroom. Now, apartments in New York, you have to push the door in. He blocked the door during a seizure. I couldn't get to him. We had to chop the door down with an axe just to get to him. So I didn't know, if I would have been told, make sure you safeguard your house and do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, it might have actually it would have decreased the intensity of the effect of the injury to the seizures that he had. And that's something that I do with Seizure Cure. I've had people call me that they're newly diagnosed and they ask me what should they do to safeguard their home. And I've actually visited their home so I can give them pointers on what to do and what help that they need, for their child or their loved one that they're taking care of.
So I don't know if you already touched up on it, but if you can repeat it, right? What's the difference between a seizure and a convulsion?
So a grand mal seizure, which is also considered a convulsion, is a type of seizure. The petit mal seizure is very similar symptoms as to many of our children and what they're being diagnosed with by the schools with ADHD, impulsivity, staring into space. A lot of times it looks like daydreaming. And I used to get yelled at all the time in school when I for daydreaming. And it was my parents, because my dad had epilepsy and his was from a motorcycle accident. They took me to a neurologist and they found that I had epilepsy. And my seizures were more the absent / petite mal seizures. And I was spacing out. It, like I said, it looks like someone is unconscious, but their eyes are open and they're standing up. They may have one part of their body shake a little bit. It may be something like their eyelid twitching. That's a common sign of absent seizure that's taking place. So that is a particular type of seizure. Very similar symptoms to ADHD. The person is literally, when they're having a seizure, they freeze and they're staring at you. And if you're not noticing what it looks like, you're thinking they're taking in what you're saying, but they're not. There were times in school that we would be on page, for example, we'd be on page 5. Next thing we're on page 7. I don't know what happened in between. So that's one type of seizure. The convulsions are the ones that are the seizures that put you at risk for injury. What happens is the person falls, whether they're standing or sitting, they go unconscious, they're violently shaking, eyes rolling behind the head, foam or vomit coming out the mouth, and many a times they may urinate on themselves, and the seizure could last anywhere between a few seconds to it could last 5 minutes. The longer the seizure, the more serious it is, and the more serious side effects that could happen from the seizure. And where you have the seizure is what poses the most risk, because if you have a seizure in a pool or driving or standing by a train track, crossing the street, I mean, so many different examples. My son dislocated his shoulder a number of times from his seizures on the same shoulder, because he would sit in the passenger side of the seat. So when he had a seizure, his right shoulder would constantly hit, but he actually had dislocated his left shoulder as well. So that was something that, he had to have surgery for that. And the convulsions are the most risky for injury. And the longer the seizure, the more risk for brain damage there is.
Do you feel like, now that you mentioned that, right? And you talked about having somebody come into the Sotomayor Community Center to talk about like first aid and everything. How, I guess, unprepared do you feel like our school systems are then to take care of these type of situations?
Oh, they're unprepared, but it's not even just the school systems. I was told by someone who works for the ambulance. He worked for a long time. He didn't even know what seizures were. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. How is it you don't know? I said, we call 911 when there's a medical emergency. 911 was at my house every week. So how is it you didn't know? He says they were never trained on seizure safety or what seizures are or what they're supposed to do. Now, I did a Seize the Cure tour this March that just passed. And I went to a number of school programs to teach about seizure safety awareness. I was shocked at the number of people that had no idea. They know what seizures are, but they don't know what to do during a seizure. Many people still think you put something in the person's mouth. I heard people literally tell me, oh, you're supposed to put a spoon, not just something in the mouth, a spoon. This is a myth from, I don't even know where it came from, but teachers, I know a lot of teachers in school administration, and they have all told me that they don't know what a seizure looks like. The few that know, it's because they have experience, personal experience with knowing what it looks like. So they knew when their students needed to get checked by a neurologist before the school evaluated them and gave them a diagnosis. So not only are teachers and our school administration not aware of the types of seizures that there are, but they're not even telling parents, go to a neurologist and make sure there's nothing medical going on before sending your child for an evaluation through the school. The school is responsible for doing all the evaluating and diagnosing now. And they're not medical professionals, so they're not going to rule out anything medical. And I've heard this from teachers and principals themselves. So one of the things I'm trying to implement, and I'm only doing this in the Bronx. I haven't even touched Florida, and I don't plan to, because my heart is here, and eventually I'm probably going to land back here. So
I told you in a few months, bro. Come on.
I'm probably going to land back here, but I want the schools and law enforcement are my two targets for getting trainings in seizure safety awareness and awareness to what seizures look like. Because in law enforcement, there's been a number of cases where it involved the person was having a seizure and law enforcement did not know what they were looking at. There are seizures that I don't know the medical term for them, but there are seizures that look like the person is being violent, and it's not that they're having a seizure, and it's
they're blacking out.
Yeah, they're blacking out, and of course, law enforcement there's already issues with law enforcement as it is, but they need to be aware. They need to be trained, and that word awareness creates preparedness. That's my slogan for Seize the Cure now.
But there's also not enough sensitivity in just alone for mental health. Like, there's not enough. You see a lot of the so-called sensitivity about mental illness on the TVs because that's what the media is paying for, and the big sponsors and pharma and all of this stuff that you can pay for the medication and all of that bullshit. Yes, I just ran that. Wow, that was long. But what they fail to realize, especially because there's no sensitivity training for mental health. You see corporations and the police do racial sensitivity training because they're being forced on the spot. There's something. I feel like something needs to happen on a grander scale, because apparently the pandemic wasn't enough for people to still act like dickheads in society. I'm not saying in a perfect world the pandemic was supposed to heal everything, but you would have thought there's at least a little more sensitivity towards certain things. Not trying to make a dollar off mental illness, but actually help people.
Well, unfortunately, our new generation, the ones that were, our young people that were during COVID times, they're the ones that are screwed with mental health. And the reason I say that is because there's no socialization anymore. Back then we were encouraged to play outside and play board games and interact. We had interactive things. Now, these kids are behind the computer. Their friends are people they've never met.
I'm not gonna lie though, like, without giving my age, I was that era where I had both. And I'm talking about that early era where you were able to make friends like off of AIM.
Right.
They're still my best friends for like 15, 20 years. But I also know that I was only allowed to be on the computer for maybe 40 minutes a day.
That's it.
And I had to make sure I got my homework done or my ass was going to get beat. Like, like, we had the sitting outside in the stoop days. Like, I got in trouble for cutting school, but I was watching movies at a friend's house type of day. Those are the good old days, but and a lot of these kids in society think also that mental illness is a fucking trend. And it makes people not take this seriously.
Yeah, it's mental health is number one. It's not going anywhere. And I honestly, I know a lot of strong people. I know a lot of people who are very productive. They're educated and they have mental health problems. And I don't know what it is, but nowadays it's like for you to be embarrassed to say it, I'm not going to judge you if you're embarrassed to say it, but there's a lot more. It's a more common thing now to have a mental health disorder at this point. And there's also a lot out there that is available to you if you're willing to admit that you have a problem. A lot of people don't want to admit they have a problem. You know what? I'm going to say something. I'm going to put it out there. I actually brought this out for the first time the other day, and I'm not embarrassed. When I moved to Florida, I was on 12 different medications for different health conditions. And about 5 of those medications were psychiatric medication. Depression, panic disorder, anxiety. But a lot of people would be shocked hearing me say that because I move around very normal. I always smiling. I always have my head together. I take care of my kids. I pay my bills. I do what I have to do. But I was struggling.
But you know why? Because we come from that generation. Because our parents, some of them were the boomers, and they had that mentality because they weren't educated, and our great grandparents weren't educated. So we were taught to internalize everything and be a soldier. So when we got older, we had to learn about shit like this.
Yep. That's you.
And by the way,
1,000% correct on that one.
And by the way, Bossy's talking about having a whole house party in your imaginary apartment in the Bronx and telling me to bring chairs, but a bitch listening to me more time.
My imaginary apartment. Hey, listen, I'm here for a week. Let's do it.
No, she's talking about you when you move here.
So we planning the party before I get the apartment. I got it. I got it.
But my thing is, though, a bitch got no car. Where you want me to bring chairs?
I'll sit on the floor.
That's my point. She's like, we don't want to ruin her furniture. I'm like, bro.
I got picnic chairs in the back of my car that I keep there for emergency situation, last minute visits. And they fold.
Oh man.
But I took myself when I got to Florida and I started, getting past my self-pity trip. I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I said, Tara, how long? I talk to myself sometimes. And I said, Tara, how long are you gonna be on medication? And better yet, how long are you gonna keep adding medication to your because of your symptoms when the answer is you targeting the problem? So I decided to strip myself off of all medication. I'm not advising anybody to do that, but I had to do that for myself because I found that hiding behind the medication wasn't the answer for me. I knew I had problems, but I knew what my problems were, and I knew why I was having those problems. I just didn't have the cojones to face it.
I mean, sorry, no, continue. Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, but I'm still in therapy. I have a therapist. I love my therapist. My point to this is you have to take your mental health seriously before anybody else is going to take it seriously. Because in this world, we have a lot of cultural differences. We have a lot of demographical differences. We have a lot, sometimes people in your own family are your worst poison. Like, they trying to make it seem like you're the problem. And you know for a fact that it's not you that's the problem.
It's everyone else.
Exactly. So it's like, sometimes you got to strip yourself from your own family just to get your mental health into perspective. And there's nothing wrong with therapy. I mean, I know you've heard this before. There are people in this world that still think going to therapy is a waste, or they're afraid to ask for help. And, if things aren't going well, if your mental health ain't right and nothing's working, you got to kind of figure out what you haven't tried to see if it works. Drugs aren't the answer. Liquor ain't the answer. bad habits in general are not the answer. It's just creating more side effects to your condition and your health. I can't tell you how many times I've drank in the past out of depression to escape a feeling. And I woke up feeling 10 times worse.
See, I love going to my therapist. My therapist, if I could say my therapist would be my best friend, it probably would be he could be my best friend. But then that crosses the boundary, then I would have to get a new therapist. But I would still say my best friend. I would love to just say that. I've been with him since 2015 when I moved back from Westchester. And, you know, with everything after the pandemic, couldn't afford therapy for a while. You know, I was meeting with the psychologist, you know, every couple of weeks the last, you know, couple of years because she has to monitor my medication. But then I lost this bet with my DJ, and that's how the podcast came about. Because if I wasn't going to go get my therapist, then I had to do this podcast. And then I lost the bet. Okay. And that's how I started confronting everything. And then I still had to get my therapist because then my doctor said if I don't, I'm going to have problems. So now I'm just forced to confront it either way.
Well, you confronting it. Whatever the story that made you do it, you confronting it. And you see what you just said. You just said on this show, I never knew that. So I just learned something about you. And it's not something that you can look at a person and that's the thing I was telling Bossy the other day. I said, you know, it's like people, when you say you have a condition, they're expecting you to look a certain way. So if you're walking normal and talking normal and you dress normal and you have all your features on your face the way they're supposed to look, and then people are like, okay, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. My son, if you meet my son is a good-looking kid.
He is a handsome looking.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't that suck to have a handsome son? Because now it's like, damn, I gotta worry about these little hoes.
Oh no, he knows. He lets them know. My mother's crazy. He hasn't brought anybody home yet because he knows whoever he brings home, she got to be special. Because I'm gonna pin my radar has always been right when it comes to these girls, and I'm always telling him like, you know, you're a handsome. That's a doggy back there.
That's my canine co-host, everyone.
Let him on the show.
Come here. Come here. This is why.
That's another thing I want to get into. Dogs there's a huge population of dogs that have epilepsy.
How did that what?
Yeah. There's a whole category in epilepsy that's just about for dogs and cats. It runs in dogs and cats. I've never looked into it, you know, further, but it's something I definitely want to look into because I find that very interesting. I'm not a doctor, but I've always been curious, like, what's the connection between humans and dogs and cats that they can actually share this kind of disease? It's very interesting.
I feel like this is beyond Google, though, and ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not touching anytime soon, but it just had me thinking of what I was saying. But yeah, as far as the mental health, it's put it this way, mental health is never going to go out of business. The way this world is, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And there's some people that can cover it up with money. And then there's people that, you know, they don't have those resources. They can't afford, you know, insurance. So it shows more on them.
So my canine co-host would like to know, and please go inside. Yes, go inside. But he would like to know what is it like to not only be someone that went through having epilepsy, but at the same time, also had to be the caregiver in the situation.
You know, the kind of mother that I am, I've always backburnered myself for what my kids needed, or what they deserved. I'm not going to say wanted because I never spoiled them, but I always gave them what was best for our life and for themselves and their future. So while I may not be having convulsions, I have a lot of seizure activity going on. My testing showed that I'm very active, which is why sometimes you'll hear me as I'm talking. I'll kind of start stuttering, or my thoughts will kind of cross, or I'll have a hard time getting out my words. A speech issue, which is from the seizure activity that I'm having. But I have not taken care of myself the way I'm supposed to, because especially during the time that my son was really struggling, myself wasn't a thought. Anything that I needed wasn't a thought. I have a VNS, which is a vagus nerve stimulator, and how it works is you can see the scar right here. Yeah. And there's like the machine is over here in my chest, because you could actually see the right here. They put it in the chest and then connected the wire to the back of my brain, which is through the neck and the back. So how it works is the doctor has set it to go off at a certain pulsation every, let's say, 2 minutes. It comes with a magnet. So every 2 minutes it goes off, kind of like a medication dosage. But it doesn't give the effects that medication has. So it goes off every 2 minutes. Now, if I were to, let's say, have a seizure, you take the magnet, you swipe it over my chest area here, and it's supposed to stop the seizure.
So from the inside, so it's gonna, like, it moves on your body?
No, it stays right here. But the magnet activates it during a seizure, so that way it stops the seizure or stops the severity of the seizure. Now, my son just had one about 2 years ago, so his is actively working. Mine was put in about 20 years ago. And the battery life, it ends based on how often the setting is on. So my battery life died about 9 years after having the surgery. So it's been dead. The battery has been dead in me in over 10 years. So now that my son is more situated and he's doing better, when I get back to Florida, I already saw a neurosurgeon, because it has to come out. It has to come out. The battery, they're worried about it leaking because it's been dead in me for so long, and I can't have an MRI, because if I have an MRI,
why you have that in you go kaboom.
I'll blow up. And it needs to come out. And the point of me saying this is that while my son was struggling and I was dealing with his health, your kids come first. It always works like that. I'm the kind that, I was not thinking about me or what I needed. It was about him and making sure he was good and making sure that, he had what he needed. And it was absorbed a lot of time. His dad and I both went through it. His dad and I worked together during that time to make sure he had the best for his situation. And we both struggled in different ways, but the mental health part for me was the hardest to deal with, because I had to learn about something I didn't know much about. I had to be the parent, be the comforter, be the disciplinary as well. And trying to do all that while dealing with a condition like this and learn and living a normal life. And my daughter, who's now 14, a lot of times she was backburnered off of the emergencies and what was needed. And it just comes with the territory, but it's not something that people should have an attitude, well, like, that's your child. That's just how it is. Yes, it is how it is, but I'm still a person. I still need help. I still need someone to have my back and be my venting, my woosah, so to speak, because it's a very lonely feeling when you have a child that has something and nobody understands you. And with seizures, it makes people not want to actually babysit, because they're always worried about what's going to happen. They don't have the guts to tell you that, but you know what it is. So, to answer that question, yeah, I was backburnered a lot. And that was my choice, yes. I would get very irritated when people will tell me, but you have to take care of yourself. And I looked at them like, fuck you. You're not doing nothing to help me take care of myself. So now I'm starting to really take my epilepsy seriously. I always say, own your condition, own it. My epilepsy is there, and I know it can come back. You can go seizure free for 10 years, and next thing you know, they come back out of nowhere. So I need to really be careful and start taking mine seriously and putting it as a priority now, because at any point, God forbid, they could come back. And I don't want to be in that situation where I don't want that. I don't want them to come back. I'm petrified that could happen.
I can't imagine, to tell you the truth, what you could have gone through. I do applaud you for your strength, because shit. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But you know what? That's why I feel it's selfish for me to have all this knowledge and all these things that I could offer another struggling family and just sit back and do nothing with it. You know, whether it be prevention or, anything I could do to help, just I feel it'd be selfish to just have this and just sit back and be like, okay, well, I got through this, so let me just be quiet and mind my business. No, I wish I would have had, when it comes to epilepsy, I wish I would have had a TJ Vida. So
everyone needs to get a you. Everyone needs a you.
Yeah, I really wish I had that. But you know what? I guess that was my calling. That's my, when you get up every morning, you gotta thank God that you're on this earth. And I become very spiritual. I'm not fully there yet. I still have my moments where I'm just praying to God, to keep me from hurting somebody, because I do have a bad temper. But my temper is not something that just flies off the handle out of nowhere. I pray a lot, and I will say that prayer is a huge help, And if you wake up every morning, you thank God that he woke you up. You have your goal for the day, but you have to have a purpose in life. And I have learned that this has become my purpose. This has become my therapy. This has become the reason that I am here. This is what God wants me to do. And he wants me to do it through my experience with epilepsy, on not just on having it, but having a child with it.
Man, I feel like we can keep going with this, but
yeah, it's too much for what it's too much. But you get the drift.
And the way you just kind of said all of it, it really just, it really just resonates and reminds me of why I give back. So it's kind of nice to see other people actually caring, because you see the area and you're familiar with the area that I do work at, and there's so much hardship going on around there, with even though whatever race, with the hardship and whatever they do, like there's so many mixed attitudes, there's so much ignorance. It's refreshing to see someone actually care and have empathy and actually give to their community. What's something you're looking forward to on Saturday?
I'm looking forward to meeting everybody that I've been talking to for these past few months that I haven't met yet. A lot of new participants that I've never worked with before. I'm anxious to see the performances, because I just now today listened to I wanted to kind of be surprised, but then I was like, I have to do the timing of this. I have to. And when I heard some of the stuff, just like the first minute or half a minute in the song, I'm like, damn, this is some good music. Like, this is the first event I have a Spanish singer coming out to sing. I'm excited about that. Not because I'm Latina, but yeah, this is Latina.
A little bit.
But, yeah, but I'm excited about everything. I'm excited for it to be over because I'm exhausted. I'm not gonna lie.
Then we got to get her imaginary apartment together.
Yeah. But this is so much work, and I sacrificed bringing my personal car out here. I've been staying in a hotel, adjusting my kids and who's getting back. My mom just flew in today with my son so they could be here. And a lot of adjusting of my personal life came into this event for the first time. And all the events, this is the one that has taken the most work personally and professionally. So I am exhausted. So I tell people when I reach out to them, I'm sorry if I asked you this already, but I'm probably going to ask 1,000 times because I got to keep my head straight. But I'm just excited to see the energy that I'm getting from people now before the event that I've been getting for the past few months. It's exciting because now it's like that energy is feeding off into me. And no matter how tired I am, it's like I have people excited to be a part of this. So I can't be letting this tiredness get to me. And so I'm excited. I'm praying that it goes well. You know how it is doing events. You always got to worry about the things that are not in your control. And those are I like to be in control of things because I feel
I've just learned to pack my bag 2 days before so I don't forget nothing. And that's it. I smoke, I pack the bag, I leave it by my door, and no one can tell me I forgot anything.
Yeah, that's true.
That's that's the only way, because then I'll spaz out the day of, and everyone will try to help me, and then I'll say, don't fucking touch my shit. and it'll be a cycle of violence before we give back to the community.
No, we can't have that. You gotta call me and vent off to me first before you do that. But yeah, I'm starting to get a cold. This weather today, this bipolar weather, as I call it.
I'm just glad it was fucking cool enough for me to walk because I was like not doing it today.
Yeah, but you know what? It was 100 degrees, and then to drop to the 70s, I was like, oh my! And I was, of course, I came here wearing like being half naked with Florida attire, so I'm standing out there freezing. I'm like, this is the weather that you're gonna get. I'm gonna get sick, and sure enough, I'm starting to get a cold.
Why don't you take some Advil or something and like start preventing it? Or
I need to eat food. I haven't had real. Actually, you know what? I have soup. I'm gonna heat up. That's what I'm gonna. Some chicken soup will kill it.
See? Look at that. Good for the soul.
Yep, but I haven't ate since I've been here. I've been very negligent in eating because I'm running around doing stuff. I'm in a hotel, so I can't cook. So it's.
Well, you got a microwave. Listen, man. Those microwavable meals hit. All you gotta do is go to the supermarket.
Well, you know what? I'm going to be here another week. I'm going to go on. I'm going to say, who's ready to donate a meal to TJ Vida so I can eat?
Wait, whoever did it last year, they're going to be there this year? Because you could always be like, listen, I'm staying here. I need some empanadas.
Oh, that was, you know what? I didn't even taste those last year. I didn't even eat at the event last year. But this year, I have a fantastic team that's been working, because they saw that last year it was purely chaotic and I was being pulled in 10 different directions. And I didn't even get to see my daughter perform. I didn't get to hear my son speak. I didn't take a picture with them. So that's how bad it is. For me to not get a picture with my own kids about that, it's bad. So I said this year that cannot happen. I have a nice team that's been dedicating their time to pushing and helping me organize this. I'm projecting, everybody just come out and support. Donations are always needed. Doesn't have to be monetary, but if they are,
We like empanadas.
Huh?
We like empanadas.
Yeah, donate empanadas. Yeah, I'll make sure I eat that before we start the event.
Listen, if someone goes and brings empanadas on Saturday just because they heard this, then we have lunch.
Oh man, I'll be so grateful. Empanadas, yes, yes. But that's it. Saturday, June 28th, 1 p.m. 5 hours of entertainment. You get all in one roof for free. You get to be entertained, educated. There's a lot. We have 20 vendors, informational, and then vendors that are just giving back to the cause, that have merchandise. Come out, support. Support does not have to be $100. I ask people for a donation. They look at me like I have three heads. Like, I'm not asking you for your rent. $5. I'm a very appreciative person. $5.
Listen, if you could go 5 on it, you could go 5 on a donation.
That's it. Just $5. If 5,000 friends on Facebook gave $5.
Listen, man, she got me going on the 6 train on Saturday. That's all I gotta say. If you from New York.
But yeah, I'm excited. I know you are too.
I am. I'm not excited about that 6 train though.
Nah, I don't blame you with that. But you know what? It's better than having to find parking, because
it said 24 stops.
Oh. Thank you.
I was like,
you are appreciated.
I was like, I made this commitment. I gotta do it, but I'm gonna hate myself after.
But you'll have fun. You'll have fun there. That's the important part.
I will. I also know I gotta be like a semi-hybrid of myself, so half Rawrrzone, half professional, because I'm still at a place of work.
Yeah. No, I get it. Trust me. Tomorrow's setup day. So tomorrow we're gonna be at the center setting up for the event to avoid having to do it the same day, that morning. It's a lot of stuff that has to be put up. So
I mean, the staff should be there, but
yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there at 12. We're gonna start at 12.
Oh,
so
Lord.
Anybody who's interested in volunteering, let me know.
Yeah, I take accessor. Listen, not everyone has the luxury of accessorize. Metro Plus don't pay for that for me, bro.
Oh, now I see the comments. I'm sitting here like, where is she? How is she getting the comments over there? I'm see how retarded I am with this stuff. Look at this. Oh wow, I'm scrolling all the way. Oh wow, this goes way back when we started the interview. Look, I learned something today. Oh, she's lucky.
Oh my God.
Yes, bring the food, and then after that, after the event is over, it's drinking time. She said it's for my arthritis doing the bachata. I can't. I gotta go back and read all her comments.
So I work at a nightclub. When I choose to work in a nightclub, if you choose to go drinking, I can choose to go to work on Saturday.
She said I could choose to go to work.
Not really. Working in nightlife is pretty flexible.
No, that is true. That is true. Let's see if I could even stand as much as I'm talking, but I definitely want to. I definitely need to live New York while I'm here. I want to go to Times Square and
tequila.
I don't drink tequila.
You don't do tequila? What do you do?
No, it gets me angry.
Okay, no, we don't want you angry.
I like my margaritas.
Okay, I could do that.
I'm very simple about margaritas, pomegranate preferably. I love me some pomegranate.
Okay, so we out to Doha. Let's go.
There you go.
All right, we out to Doha on Saturdays on 39th Avenue under the train.
Ah, yeah, they closed a lot of spots that I used to know and go to.
Man, I remember I was working with GQE Live. It was like another form of Siete Dias, Siete Noches. And it was just like only in like uptown in the Bronx. And now, like ever since I started working, in the Bronx again, I'll pass by these spots. I'm like, where the fuck did it go?
Yeah, they close a lot of places, and they're making it harder for businesses to like opening up a lounge or a bar. They have to go through the approval of the board. A lot of places it's just getting. And in Florida, everything closes at 8 o'clock. So
Listen, man, don't get me started, because I was so not used to the Jadakiss concert ending at 2 o'clock. I'm like, what in the hickory smoke is going on here?
yeah.
Like, yeah, this is the time it closes. I'm like, the fuck you mean shit closes at 2 o'clock?
Yeah. It's everything closes out there early. It's different, but I'm gonna shoot it out because I have to start going. I have to pack the car for tomorrow for early setup time that we got to get started for.
But yeah, so once again, let me post the flyer up and you tell them where they can everything.
Yes. So this Saturday, June 28th, 1 p.m. it starts. Come out to seize the music, shake epilepsy. We have vendors, we have testimonial speakers, we have special guest speakers giving very important information on epilepsy and seizure safety. We have media coverage. There you go. Do what you did before, including me. And lots of media coverage. We have our sponsors will be in the building. The sponsors that made this event possible will be in the building. We have, of course, performances. So food, it's free admission, free, everything is free really, except, for any merchandise that you want to have. We have 4 different raffles going on. So you definitely want to contribute to that. And
TJ's performing. TJ's performing.
We'll see. I don't know. That schedule's looking real tight.
You be the first one. You be the sacrificial lamb. You're the leader.
I got to go down with the ship. The captain goes down with the ship. I got to wait till last. If there's room for me, I'll jump in there. I'll just be ready just in case. I plan to perform. I do plan to perform. Just hope I'm still standing by that time.
You are.
I might have to sit on the stage and sing.
I mean, that works too.
Yeah, anything works, right? But everybody just come out, support, send a donation, $ secure through Cash App, easiest way to donate. And just come out. Just come out and have yourself a good time and get educated, entertained, all in under one roof. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Oh man. Thank you so much, TJ.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. And we're definitely going to talk. I'm going to see you on Saturday.
Yes. And then let's get this quick picture, because it's not like how was the boss today. You're in person with her. We got to do this to get a screenshot. Yay, we did it.
That's the first time I've ever. That's cute. I like that.
Right? It's like bing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Guys, you can follow TJ Vida everywhere at TJ Vida. Seize the Cure is what the road is right now. If you don't know, now you know. If you don't support it, you would dub. Let's really call it like it is. Remember, catch this replay and Rawrrzone mix after this on Pulse Radio 2.3 FM and the Evening Rush Radio Network. Follow us everywhere at Rawrrzone NYC. Me, I am Ivy.XO_. And thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you guys Saturday. But I will leave you with our parting words, because we can't end every episode without this lovely words of motivation.
I've got one more thing to say, and it'll only take me a second. I've got 2 words that I want you all to remember. They're very important. And if I leave you with anything, I'm going to leave you with these 2 words. And those 2 words are, I'm Batman.
Good night.